Welcome back to DRS Zone, and yeah, buckle up. Because if you thought the air was thin in Mexico City, well, the gap at the top of the championship,
Yeah.
even thinner after that race.
Oh, absolutely defining. I mean, it wasn't just a win for Norris, was it? It was almost a demolition job, strategically, amidst all that chaos.
Yeah, so today we've really got to unpack it all. The penalties, the strategy,
Yeah.
the whole messy picture.
Exactly. Our mission is sort of figuring out how Lando pulled off that brutal victory, as some called it. And yeah, took the championship lead. Big stuff.
That's the headline, isn't it? Lando Norris, pretty much untouchable from lights out, now leads the world championship. Just 1 point ahead of Piastri.
The McLaren momentum, it's real.
It is. And this all happened even with Verstappen starting P4 and having, well, a very controversial start.
Yeah, Norris and LECLERC were clean off the line, front row, locked out. But behind them, chaos. And the stewards were busy right away.
Okay, let's get into that start line mayhem. Norris defended well, held the inside, but Verstappen charging up.
He went super wide. I mean, larghissimo, as they say. Cut right across the runoff, the escapatoria.
And rejoined still in P4.
Yeah, instantly controversial. He gained an advantage, or at least kept position by going off track. George Russell was right behind him.
And Russell was straight on the radio, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Furious. Called it ridiculous that Max didn't give the place back immediately. Race control actually told Verstappen to return the position to Russell.
But he didn't.
He didn't. He just carried on and, well, the stewards investigated, but ultimately nothing came of that specific instruction. No penalty then.
Right, and that lack of action, that inconsistency maybe, that really set the stage. Because fast forward just a few laps, maybe lap 6.
The Verstappen versus Hamilton fight.
Exactly. Max pushes Lewis wide. Lewis goes off, cuts the grass, kind of like Max did earlier. But Verstappen still comes out ahead, takes P3 in that scrap.
And this is where it gets, well, interesting. Because after that, after seeing Max go off track multiple times with no penalty, suddenly Lewis Hamilton gets slapped with a big one.
A 10-second penalty. That's huge.
Massive. For leaving the track, gaining an advantage, and crucially not rejoining the right way, he cut across the grass.
Lewis argued the grip was just gone. Yeah. Low grip out there.
Yeah, he did, but the penalty stood. And look, the stewards judged Hamilton's move worthy of a major penalty, fine. But Max's earlier moves, the turn 3 cut, the push on Hamilton where he also went off, investigated, noted, but 0 sanctions. Nothing for gaining an advantage, nothing for causing a collision.
So the consistency just wasn't there.
Yeah.
It really feels like Hamilton paid a price while Verstappen, well, he got away with it early on.
It definitely impacted Hamilton's momentum, no question. While Max could just keep pushing, it left a lot of us scratching our heads about how the rules were being applied.
Yeah, definitely fueled some debate. Okay, so as things settled down a bit, pit stops started coming into play. And the race shifted gears, didn't it? From pure fighting to, like, chess on wheels.
Exactly right. The field spread a bit, but the strategic game was just heating up. And hey, before we dive into that, just want to say, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to DRS Zone.
Yeah, great to have you. Make sure you hit subscribe. Follow along for more F1 deep dives like this one.
Because, yeah, the strategy in this race, it was something else.
Okay, where do we start? We absolutely have to talk about Ollie Bearman, Haas, P4, for a huge chunk of the race.
What a performance. Seriously. Capitalized on all that early mess, kept his nose clean, and just drove brilliantly.
Matching Haas's best ever result.
Exactly. Holding off faster cars behind him for so long. Showed real maturity, especially with all the drama happening around him. He was solid as a rock.
Incredible drive.
Yeah.
But, okay, the strategic masterstroke, the move that really defined the mid-race, got to be Verstappen, right?
Without a doubt. He knew he had to do something different. McLaren and Ferrari looked comfortable, so lap 40, he pits.
Super early, felt like. And for
soft tires.
Softs for 31 laps to the end in Mexico. Which sounds insane, given the altitude, the low downforce, the cars sliding around.
That's the gamble. Everyone runs max swing, but the air's so thin, downforce is still low, tires get stressed, they slide, they overheat. 31 laps on softs. Theoretically, that should have been, game over for those tires way before the end.
But it worked. He was flying.
Immediately. Just started eating into Leclerc's gap. What was it, 0.7 a lap, something like that?
Yeah, devastating pace. It was just, wow. Massive risk, but it showed Red Bull's confidence and Max's incredible skill managing those tires under pressure.
Absolutely. And while Max was doing that, pulling off his miracle run, there was drama brewing inside Mercedes.
Ah, yes, the team orders chat. Russell was getting edgy with Piastri closing in behind him.
Very edgy, and the radio message was, well, classic Russell maybe. a bit sarcastic.
Yeah. I have McLaren right on my butt. You want me to let him pass? Basically asking them to tell Antonelli to swap.
You could feel the tension. Antonelli was ahead, but Russell felt he could defend better or maybe attack.
So Mercedes had a call to make.
They did. Eventually, they made the tough one. Told Antonelli to let George through, use Russell's pace, maybe his experience, as a shield against Piastri.
Prioritizing team points in a tight year. Makes sense, even if it's rough on Antonelli.
That's always tough.
No.
Speaking of rough, let's talk about the Spanish drivers, because, man, this race was just a disaster for them.
Oh, brutal. Fernando Alonso first. Started badly with a really slow pit stop, like 7 seconds.
Yeah, that kills your race right there. And then it just got worse. Brake problems started creeping in.
And eventually he had to retire the car, his 5th DNF this season.
Yeah.
It's just painful for him.
Really is. And then Carlos Sainz, his weekend was just cursed from the start, wasn't it?
Started with the grid penalty from Austin carrying over, so he was already on the back foot.
And then in the race, the pit lane speed limiter failed on him.
Right. He reported the button wasn't working properly, the car was vibrating or something. Sounds like a serious electronic glitch.
Exactly, a system failure. And it cost him dearly. Twice. Got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane because the limiter failed. Then pitted again later, same problem. Bang, drive-through penalty.
Oh, that's just cruel.
Yep.
Penalized over and over for something completely out of his control.
Wiped out any chance he had, points gone, strategy ruined. And eventually he had to retire the car too, right near the end, lap 70.
Yeah, the whole weekend just unraveled because of one faulty button. Unbelievable bad luck.
Just devastating for him and Ferrari. You got to factor that kind of thing into the championship fight, the sheer unreliability sometimes.
Definitely. Okay, so despite all that chaos and misfortune, we head towards the end, and Lando Norris is just cruising, right?
Cruising is an understatement. He was in a different league. After that start, nobody touched him, led every lap from pole, got the fastest lap too.
The gap was huge at one point, wasn't it? Like 28 seconds.
Yeah, massive. Before his final stop, just showed how hooked up that McLaren was for Mexico's conditions. High altitude, low grip, they nailed the setup. Pure dominance.
But behind him, things were getting very interesting for the final laps.
Oh yeah, the tension was building. Verstappen, on those magic soft tires, had completely destroyed Leclerc's gap. 12 seconds vanished.
He was right there. DRS range, P2 was absolutely on the line.
Yep, Red Bull versus Ferrari for second.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you had Oscar Piastri,
Who'd recovered really well from a slightly slow start in pit stop.
right on Ollie Bearman's gearbox, fighting for that incredible P4.
McLaren versus Haas for 4th. It was shaping up perfectly. 2 massive fights brewing for the final laps.
Exactly what you want to see. Proper racing, right to the flag. The kind of finish Mexico often gives us.
The crowd must have been going wild. And then, silence.
The virtual safety car.
Yep. Carlos Sainz pulls over, retires on lap 70. Race control deploys the VSC on lap 71.
And that was basically it. Race finishes under VSC.
The ultimate anticlimax, wasn't it? Just kill both of those fights dead. Poof, gone.
No last lap lunge from Max on Charles. No desperate defense from Bearman against Piastri.
Deprived us all, really. Deprived the fans of 2 potentially amazing finishes. Those last couple of points could have been crucial. It's so frustrating. So the final order stands. Norris wins. Leclerc holds on for P2. Verstappen P3 after that charge.
And Ollie Bearman gets that incredible P4 for Haas, holding off Piastri, who finished 5th. Amazing result for Bearman and the team.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Key takeaways from this deep dive.
Well, number 1, McLaren's momentum is undeniable. Norris leads the championship. It's game on.
Number 2, Verstappen's strategy call. That 31-lap soft stint was a masterclass in risk and execution. Shows Red Bull are still massive threats, willing to gamble.
Yeah, keeps them right in the hunt, doesn't it?
And for you, listening, the relevance is huge. We now have an internal McLaren title fight potentially, with Max desperately trying to claw his way back in. It's wide open. The pressure on Norris and Piastri now, immense.
Totally. And you know, this race, it was won by Norris's speed, McLaren's technical brilliance for Mexico, no doubt.
Well, all the drama.
All the drama really came from that messy mix of mechanical failures like SAINZ'S limiter and those controversial track limit calls, especially early on.
Which leads us to that final thought to leave people with. How much did that broken pit limiter really cost Carlos Sainz? Not just in this race, but in the bigger picture.
In a year this tight, where every single point counts, especially in that midfield battle, 2 penalties for 1 electronic failure, That could be one of the most frustrating and maybe costly technical issues of the entire season.
A really expensive button failure. What a tough break.
We'll see how those points stack up at the end.
Indeed. Well, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you follow and subscribe to DRS Zone wherever you get your podcasts or if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, don't miss out. We'll be back soon to dive into the next race.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in.